Innovative.
Hello, it's your motherfucking boy, Younger Lady, the real Younger Lady. Yeah, I'm talking about, hey, and it's Labor Day, man. We coming to y'all live from a motherfucking holiday, but we don't celebrate Labor Day over here, man. We celebrate Never Not Working Day. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to niggas that been working their ass off for the whole year, man. You know what I'm talking about? You can't take a break today either. We still working. Cool ass Cam, talk to him, man.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the WB Morning Show. Hope y'all ready for the wake and bake.
Hey, man, if you ain't already, you should have your chopsticks together, man. You know what I'm talking about? We deep in this thing now. Y'all family. You know what it is. And we mixed that champagne with the orange juice over here. You know what I'm talking about? I know y'all hear him. We got a special guest in here today. Go on, introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, sir.
Hello, world. My name is Tony. My friends call me Ace. I'm a freelance artist, and it's nice to meet you. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much, LA. Thank you very much. Cool, man. You must listen. I felt cool until I came in there. Now I'm motherfucking a penguin.
This nigga crazy.
Now I feel like a fucking penguin.
Let me see that light.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you might need it first, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, so as y'all can see, this man has started working on some art, and he said by the end of the show he gonna reveal it to y'all. So we gonna get into that. But how did we meet? You remember how we met?
Yeah. So we have a mutual friend. Shout out to Poncho.
Poncho, the gas man.
Yeah, he is my gas man.
Yes, sir.
Original Vegas gas man.
That part.
So he told the real that he knew a freelancer, and I was doing some work for Poncho in regards to the tobacco industry. So I was doing logo work for him, and we were going back and forth on ideas. And this is one of these things to where if he wanted me to work on it, this is his baby as far as what he felt like he wanted to do in that industry. So it was a real handling with it. Some back and forth, some file exchanges, some like, this is what another artist has done. You know, this is what I want altered, or this is, I love it, but this is, you know.
Them conversations it take to get to where we trying to go sometimes.
Absolutely.
People don't know it be business meetings. Like, we don't call it that because we be friends and be cool, but reality, we need to have a business meeting.
In reality, we have to have a creative corner or creative crunching of minds. So, you know, in order to create.
And then around that time, I was working on an album, and I was trying to get you to do the cover art, and we still gonna work on that. In between, sometimes when I be doing cover arts, the timing to be off, or the idea I'm going for, or just something happen, it speeds up the process or changes the process. But you definitely in my archive for something that I want to do for one of my album covers in the future. You know what I mean? So sometimes we don't work as fast as we supposed to, but we work on God time. You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Let me slide that ashtray down one time.
I believe that. And
yeah, so it's like it ain't. And when you doing greatness, you don't want to rush it. You know, we met and we could have just did something as soon as we met and hurry up and did it. But sometimes we gotta just learn each other and come up with the right play for the play. You know what I mean? And I like comparing shit to music because I do music. But sometimes when you meet somebody, just because you met them don't mean they should be your next feature.
True.
Sometimes we might need to sit in the studio, play something, or the next album come up, they be perfect for it. You never know how it goes, but I always believe in being patient. So
absolutely.
In the music industry though, sometimes people take that as he don't like me or he don't want to work with me. And I learned like with beats, like somebody might send me a beat. If I don't communicate that I like the beat or that I'm gonna record on it, they might look at it like, oh, he don't like it and he not gonna record on it. So communication is a big thing, but sometimes, you know, it'll feel like it's something that it's not, you know. So I always like to reiterate that with people when I see them, because life is short, man. It ain't nothing like talking so a nigga know where we stood instead of just having to guess to a certain extent with business, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in all respects, we can imagine that the peanut butter and jelly sandwich wasn't called the peanut butter and jelly sandwich the day after the peanut butter and jelly sandwich was made into the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it takes more than a day, and I can go through mountains of individuals who we've met at a standpoint, and then the image evolved. We've been at a point where we haven't gotten it done, but that work has been transformed into other work that you can clearly see if you were the artist. So let's say, for instance, if you know what I mean, you wanted a omelet, but you asked me to make an omelet, but I was only able to provide the eggs, the onions, and the tomatoes. From there, you was like, all right, well, I've spent a lot of time with you, and this is the basis of the omelet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, before long, you're gonna start understanding what a Texas griller is versus you know what I mean? Like a Western one is, and all this other type of shit.
New terms come
I like
into
that.
play.
My man went to the kitchen with it.
Yes, sir.
Right, that's hilarious. So yeah, like you know what I'm saying.
My boy, he a chef too, so
Yeah.
he get busy in the kitchen.
Absolutely. So it's like now, well, I'm gonna always have some type of individual presence in the arts, and I'll be able to evolve with that person, or I'll be able to come back. It'll always be a revolving door
It's
if
like
that person I
a
feel.
growing thing.
Absolutely.
Grow with somebody.
Absolutely.
So let's take it back. What made you get into art? When did you knew that you had the talent?
So now I feel like it wasn't a talent.
Blessing.
I feel like it was just a trained muscle.
Okay, say
And
that.
then I felt like over time I had to sit down with myself before I became artsy or even cared to have a art as a craft. You know what I mean?
So you saying when you first started you wasn't good at all?
Nah, hell no.
And
Look,
you wanted to be good.
Look, the first thing I used to even think about when I posted, when I even cared to be professional, was back in when Paul Walker passed away, around that time.
Good old Paul Walker.
So it had to have been around, right? Rest in peace, the West
Yes,
Coast
sir.
did, right? That was back in when I lost my job, when things were crazy. When I came back from Florida after my grandma passed, it was a wild turn of events
Yes, sir.
that led me to just be in flat broke zero, back to home base. My pops lived in Vegas at the time, so me and him never seen eye to eye, but he never told me no at the end of the day.
He always
Later.
let
He
you
would
be
be like,
his child still to a certain extent.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So when I told him I was coming back from Florida, he was like, all right, you know what I mean, you need to bust a move, but you can come back here and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to hang out with my best friend Nicole. Shout out to Nicole.
Shout out Nicole.
Nikki B, she wants to call
Hey,
her.
man, ain't nothing like a best friend.
Oh gosh,
You don't get 1,000 of those.
Right, she was doing shit like going to block parties and going to these setups where she would sell jewelry and stuff. So she would say things like, man, if you were to try and keep going, I'm around these environments where people are doing less work, but they're getting paid a whole lot more. You're just not outside. So I was like, all right, well, cool. I'll just bring my trash artwork and, see what they say. Because this is what at the time.
Oh, so you still felt trash at this time too?
Oh yeah, like I had one of the geek ass, when you try to be an artist, you try to get the biggest pad in the world. So I had the motherfucking the 3x2, etch and sketch pad, and then I had the fucking little portfolio. I put them in the cute little plastic fucking
I
sleeves.
think about niggas like that be terrible in basketball, but they walk in with all of the basketball accessories on with the Allen Iverson elbow thing, the headband, and then be terrible. Shit.
Man, look, you try to accessorize because you're trying to
Cover up.
At least trying to be in the environment of the regular. I remember when I was told around that time too. Gosh. It was a lot of things. So when I mention a lot of things when it comes into sitting down for a long time, jail time. I lost my chick. Jail time from speeding. I used to speed and shit. I used to race on cars, so I used to do things like, obviously steal wheel and deal them bitches. I used to.
Nigga didn't got caught doing 135 or something.
And I had a 5.0, a
That's
91,
my favorite car.
the Cane.
Mustang.
The motherfuckers used to always call it the fucking Menace Society one. I love that motherfucker,
Yeah,
but
that's that thing.
real terrible run. I used to have like tickets to different districts. They used to put me back and forth because Vegas used to be that type of place.
Did you not have a little speeder thing that let you know when the radar is by?
My speedometer was broken on
No,
the
not the speedometer. The thing that you put on top that let you know that it's a police with a radar.
The laser scanner or whatever, the police scanner.
That wasn't helping.
Nah, because my fucking I had to rebuild most of the car. Like the inner console broke, or it burnt out from a lit blunt or some shit like that. At one point, all that shit's plastic. That went out.
Was wild, for real.
And then
wild.
The fucking pedometer eventually went out.
Nigga really wild. He said he burnt the inside of the car up with a lit blunt.
Man, I took a mint, damn near mint condition 5.0 and kind of turned it into my car after like several years. But then, I was over there rebuilding the engine. I was doing all types of things. But you was hands on, so that's the difference. Yeah, like being just that grunt.
You wasn't just tearing it up. You was in there learning how to fuck with the parts and move shit around.
Right, like shit like that. So like now, fast forward. Now it's like I'm back in Vegas, and I'm following my friend, and you know you get that bitter beer face of people who are like kind of looking at your shit, but they're kind of like, yeah, you know, keep going. I had that keep going vibe. And you know, that turned into a situation where it was either do or die at that point. So now the compound, shout out to civilians, shout out to kids in the attic, shout out to interstate installers. These were the guys who were just like hanging out together, and like was a clique that started a clothing brand called Civilian. They were like, hey man, we already went to these institutes and got these degrees that you say you should get, but after we got the skills, we just needed to sort ourselves into business to make sure we collect on the degrees, which are in business terms in artwork is like graphic design, you know, screen printing, those types of businesses. So they never really practiced enough to want to just draw enough to where they could capitalize on those type of things. And it was like, yeah, well, it's possible, but you just have to keep drawing, or you'll look like, you know, Jamie Foxx under the bridge with the piano. So, right. Cool. At this point, I started drawing more, and then I started just throwing myself into competitions inside of the city.
Makes sense.
From there, I knew I wasn't drawing enough. Always a student is what I was told as well in regards to freehanding, but then that's just what you're trying to draw. I mean, what are we drawing?
So did we get to practice make perfect?
Practice makes perfect. Speed, or you know what I mean? What is a good artwork, or what is, you know, what are we looking for right now? Right. Am I warming up? Am I using proper tools? Am I, you know, doing this in 5 minutes versus 5 hours? What are we taking out of this? You know what I'm saying, in regards to what I'm...
And maybe before you just went in there drawing, you didn't even get the game plan and stuff like that?
Well, now that depends on how you ask or who you ask.
You know what I'm saying? From the time from you beginning to now you before you start drawing, you go into the game plan and what you drawing, and you go into
I start understanding that more has to be developed in order to know what idea or a story you're trying to give, and I shouldn't stick on one idea, or I shouldn't stick in one place if I can go along with shapes, because shapes is literally what shapes everything.
Right.
Shapes is shapes and an idea, and then in some ways I'm taking something that's from your imagination to my imagination is where I make money. In terms of, so I'm a ghostwriter for your mind, more or less, in terms of using my imagination.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, turn me into a Mexican salsa dancer, but just make me to realism. Don't comic-y me.
Yeah.
You get me?
Got you. Yeah. So I'll say my whole thing that I always looked at it is y'all get to be able to bring it to reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So even. Yeah, that shit hard too.
For 5 seconds, you know what I mean?
One more time. So, cause the camera didn't catch it. There you go.
So yeah, but
I love art, bro. I'll be having art posted up in the crib, man. Anything somebody draw, I like to post it, you know, because it's art is always it's what you get
know,
out
like
of
back
it,
in the day,
know?
right? I remember, like in school, we used to have like the art classes or like just a little time where we had to do a little art project. You know, you got to draw certain things.
Right.
And I remember like I was drawing the car that looks like the Cybertruck today. You know what I'm saying? Like it was stuff like that. And I don't know, man, it was tough. But my question would be like at what point did you feel like, damn, I got it? Like, you know, like just being an artist. Because me, I know I can't draw for shit. I'll try. Like, I can draw a little diagram, stick figures, and get the point across. But if it's like I'm about to draw some shit or paint something, put it in the gallery or something like that.
I feel like I could always draw when I'm right there looking at something. As long as I'm looking at it, I could draw. But like I could never, like he could just sit here and just visualize Mickey Mouse riding a bike and then just draw.
that.
I can't do that. Nah.
Yeah.
At what point do you feel like you had that, you know?
I think it was
when did you get your confidence?
Man, you know what? I was always the one that went into art competitions or went into these little art fairs to get money because I didn't have it. I think another thing that separates an artist is the have-nots too, because you have a point where you can develop these stories no matter how it comes out, and you can want to have a force that articulates it better than most, or you want to tell a story and you have an idea in your mind already.
Right.
You know what I mean? As far as like having that conversation earlier, it's really just about having the fascination or the curiosity about life. I think that just kind of draws forth idealism, and then from there it's like, well, damn. My earliest, I get asked sometimes, what's my earliest impression of artwork, or when did I start to become artsy? And I think it was in kindergarten. And there was this little freaking situation where Miss Latina, if she's still alive, was like, hey, you know, there's gonna be the fifth graders. There's gonna be them reading for you every day before nap time or whatever. Then it's like a freaking situation where you got to draw for them at the end of the freaking week. So it's like, cool. So I drew Ninja Turtles for my cousin because I knew he was coming into town. So he was in fifth grade while I was in kindergarten. He doesn't remember it. And I thought my aunt had a freaking photo of it at one point, but it was me and him standing together. And it was very humbling and very simple, but it was very idealistic in terms of, I was drawing some Ninja Turtles. God, for heaven's sake, I was just drawing like 4 circles for the fucking heads, and I drew the stripes for the colors, and then I drew a brown fucking circle for him and a brown for, at the time it was kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
But then like from there I was always watching this shit because, you know, what would you do if your son was at home crying all alone in the bedroom for because he's hungry type shit? You know, moms worked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you was raised by TV or shit like that, and then that turns into like, man, I can draw that shit a little better. Like that shit. Wait,
imagination start kicking in too.
Yeah, that X-Men fucking episode was too short. Here, what if so and so went and did that? You know what I mean?
You start writing your own to be continued.
Oh yeah, some wild crazy, yeah. So it just manifests. And then every school has these little project fucking ways to go to fucking, you know, the fucking book fair and all this little type of dumb shit. So you know, you just moms is just saying no and fucking broke and fucking send you to school. What else are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna draw my way into it.
I'm gonna fucking scratch and scribble my fucking way into this son of a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like, hey man, you're gonna either get a fucking pizza ticket or you're gonna get like $25 or $50 at the fucking gift store.
Yeah.
What if I want to hang out with my friends and they're all going to the fucking gift store, but Billy and Tommy's got their money in their fucking pocket? I gotta sit there and read while they do that. Well, no, I'm gonna draw. Oh, you win. So it just started to end up being like that, man. And
found a good way to pass time with it being positive.
It'd be a little stupid little contest. So not stupid. I can't say they're stupid at this point because they were random. But yeah.
Even with music, like I had to just tell somebody yesterday, the shows that I did that was somebody else would consider to be small and maybe worthless, if you want to even say that. Mm-hmm. On the bigger level, that gave me the confidence to be able to go on the big stages. So it's all part of the pursuit. You know what I mean? Just like you said, without the Ninja Turtles, you might never started drawing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like without
and it's like, if you look at that, that's so minute in looking at your life, but the details be everything.
The details is definitely everything, and this is one thing I want to say too to anybody who may ever look at this if I'm long and gone, or You know, if I don't make it outside the door today or tomorrow, I put my heart into the things that I create, but I had to be at peace in order to complete the work to where me and you was happy at the end of the day. Even if you were happy just taking whatever the fuck I meant, or I gave you whatever I gave you, right? That shit came from thin air. We alchemied the hell out of that. All creatives, I think, at some point, they alchemied it first, and then they just gave it away. You know what I mean? I think that's one thing.
So do you feel like you foresee what you gonna draw already?
And thank you for being patient, because I'm being revered as the slowest artist in the fucking world. But when I do, I think I deliver.
Man, you splashing through this shit here,
Man,
so
appreciate it.
I can only imagine.
That's two disclaimers. But yeah, man, shit, man.
That's one thing you got to ask with art. You know, I learned that because when you just want something back, you just a consumer. You just paying for the product and you want it back. But when somebody doing art, you can't treat it like that. Like,
you can't get really treated like that, man.
Yeah, because art is different. Yeah, that shit hard.
See,
you can't really treat it like that, you know?
It's crazy because
that's some shit motherfuckers would pay for, though. You know, it's like you walk up. How many people at like theme parks or fairs or something like that, they sitting there drawing characters? You know what I'm saying? Somebody just sitting right there for about 5 minutes, and now you get, you know what I'm saying? That's
absolutely.
Bro, that's talent right there.
That's so yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. And that's another topic I think I wanted to bring up. Not even bring up, but more or less discuss in the world of art, because you hear a lot of things.
I feel like I'm coughing on
the
mic. That's
right.
That kush,
hey man, it might just be right.
It's that kush.
So check it. So AI is a thing where we feel that we can just type up some shit and
what's AI for the people in the ghetto that don't know?
The AI for the ones who don't know is just, well, I'm gonna keep it funky. It's a collective of other people's shit that is manipulated and constructed into these information cells, and they're really called algorithms at the end of the day. But let's just keep it funky and just say that breakdown. That they say that the memory banks have gotten more bigger than what the fuck you think a real memory bank is nowadays. Memory banks are the size of towers versus the size of a cell phone. So let's not get memory confused. You know what I mean? Because there's been a lot of photos, a lot of images, a lot of hallelujahs, a lot of sounds being played with over the span of decades. So if you put these all in a salad and you mix up the salad and you just pop out whatever little fucking entree it is, that's called AI. Okay, because AI did not bring forth jazz. AI did not bring forth a feel of music or a feel of an image or a feel of a painting or a feel of anything. So
it didn't create nothing. It just basically ingested everything and figured out what's the medium of how people think.
Straight up, man. Like, and, we've turned some banal thinking into something that we believe can save our career or save a meeting or save an essay or save a job, which in some cases, if you're 1, 2, 3 in it, you might be in jeopardy. But a creative space is not a controlled. It's not something. It's not a calculated. So we can never distinguish AI with real art or say that these.
I'm 100% sure because when you gotta live on this side, it's like you in a spot where you can't predict what's gonna happen.
Hey, but listen, and
if some people that want to be in a predictable thing, like you want to make sure your money gonna come in for sure, you might well go get a job, because being a creator,
absolutely,
you got to live in a spot of
inconsistency.
My next day is don't rely off my last day, and that's real tough in the world for somebody who don't live this life to catch.
Right,
because your last thing could be the nastiest brick you ever did.
Absolutely.
And now if that take you from shooting the next shot, you don't need to be a creative, because you have to shoot the next shot, because every shot is 100% chance that you can. 50% chance you make it or miss it. Yeah. So if you go in already thinking you missed it, then it's a 0% chance.
Yeah, and you know that chance and sales. I I think that's going to be the biggest challenge when it comes to creative spaces, because it's a luxury, not a choice to indulge. So once you put yourself at a monetary value, circulation decreases value, and also the ones who want to create, that's the writers, boring jobs. I'm sorry, excuse me. In place of the creative spaces are very 1 and 2. It's in tow with survival. If we look at these times now, and we look at certain places in time, this is when evolution in sound and music and certain different flowers started to grow, because these are areas where we were in times of doubt, we were in times of war, we were in times of unsubtlety, we were in times of uncertainty, we were in times of fear.
Right.
Things of this nature, where it's not only to be brave to be creative, it's also to examine what's occurring in real time and then regurgitate that into fucking colors, information, sauce,
translator,
you know what I mean, something that you can shift through the bullshit, or through the what Bob Marley said, live as you are, live in peace, make war, make peace, love, not war. All this, these are certain more or less concepts that in a world where you have to figure shit out, that's the mindscape that has to relax, or this is the mindscape that has to stretch normal ideas in order to produce better, new, fast, whatever it may be for the moment that serves the moment. You feel me?
In the new world right now, with content creators being everywhere, just content everywhere, just at a high level, not always in a good form. How do you feel like? How hard is it for you to exist? Like, do you feel like doing? I looked at like it's funny because they are like it's enough details in there where like, yeah, I can see the homie. Yeah, I can see the homie. Like, have you ever did shit like what I'm saying is like, have you ever drew on camera like you doing now live, so people can see it? Like, cause that's the type of stuff I know people be wanting. Like, that's like how they want rappers to be live all day. They want to be in your life. If you wake up, you close your,
they see a rapper walking down the street, they like, come on, man, spit something.
Yeah, they want to see you go shopping and see, hey, when I go here, if I had $20, just like they want to see a nigga spend $5 in this store. They want to see, let me see you spend $20 in our store. What would you pick instead of not? You feel me?
Yeah.
Because some people that's on the outside looking in, it's like, damn, I see 2 pencils. I want to see which one is better for me. You get me?
Yeah, straight up.
Now, me watching somebody who I respect in our game, if he could pick which pen he picked and give me the science behind why he picked it, I might be able to develop my own science now.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean? So yeah, we need some of that stuff from you, man. That's where I feel like we're at now, because I talk to a lot of chefs, and they saying back in the day they used to be able to just post a picture and it'd be a line outside for the food, but now it's like they gotta cook the food, plate the food, do all kind of different stuff so it can be relevant. So I feel like that goes into every industry now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We're gonna need that from you, man. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna need them videos, man. Let us see this, like how you doing it now.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit. Even with art, like I have been seeing a lot of like that on the internet, where if you look at the painting, because me being from the ghetto, I see certain paintings and I understand the Picasso and the abstract paintings, but I see certain ones and I'm like, I don't even get this. But then you might see the dude who painted it was sitting on a fucking swing with a paintbrush, and he was clicking it, and then all how this was painted was, now that's what they selling point was. They painted this while swinging on the swing, flicking the paintbrush.
Yeah, bro. And listen, I was told that it's best to stop and pay attention to what I can teach, and I've been developing in my mind courses and ways to do so. However, I haven't been on those training wheels strictly because I haven't figured out a lesson course to start from. I've been indecisive about that, which I think I need to draw down. And then also, once I need to make it monetary, or once things start to become monetary, where do I go from there? I think those are two things that I want, because I don't want to. I do have some goals artistically, right?
Right.
I do have people I want to work with artistically.
Well, let's hear some of those people.
There's some writers that I want to work with artistically, and there's writers that I work that I don't know, specifically by name like right away. However, these are writers for comic books. These are writers for like.
Well, let's just put it in the universe, because I mean, right now they might not never watch this, but you never
absolutely.
know. Somebody could be watching and say, "Hey."
All right. So look, Fantastic Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Blade, any writer for Spawn, if it's something that contains biblical presence and a lot of violence. I want martial arts, so anybody that's writing for Ninja Turtles right now, TMNT, holla at me. But still, when it comes down to those type of
So
concepts,
you saying like you got ideas, you got
I got
fresh
like some real
thoughts, processes, fresh.
And I need a couple of good writers for a couple of ideas that I want to push forward. But it's at the time of just the idea. I just want the basics of it, and the storyline to just flourish.
When you looking for a writer, what would you be looking for in your writer if you was in a room for 4 writers? What would be the determining like aspects that the person would show that'll make you say, yeah, you know what, I'm going with this person?
You know what? They would have to be young. They would have to be in knowledge of urban ideas. They would have to know my story for what it is. They would have to know a little bit of my family. I guess they would have to.
So if it was somebody that didn't know all of them, you would be okay with like taking them around and making sure that they did, so they can get.
Oh, no. Well,
or it got to be somebody from your past that already kind of.
It don't even have to be anybody from. It don't even have to be anybody that I know personally.
Okay.
I think it's just someone who has experience in the world of first, and then also, eventually,
in your world.
Yeah, exactly. In the world of art, or in the world of comic books, and then in my world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
I always told people that like in the rap shit, like you don't want to choose people that you put on your team that you couldn't go on tour with, because you will end up with being on a bus with somebody for 3 months straight every day, and then y'all don't like each other. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So you need to already be tightening up on that type of thought process. You don't want to just say, oh man, me and this too close and we cool. Like, man,
That's
cause y'all be in there on the bus for 3 months, this nigga snore and his feet stink and all that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, being in that group home, bro, a snorer will make you want to scrap every day. And then there's this one cat that I used to be with, man. Shout out to him now. I hope he's doing better. Like I found out that buddy was going through a divorce. You know what I'm saying? His kids weren't doing well, COVID and all this type of shit.
That's the thing about LA. So everybody got a story. You just gotta want to know.
But I sat there and listened to him, bro. I was like, yeah, that's the reason why. That's probably the reason why something's happening the way it does. Because you fuck around with somebody's sleep, you fuck around with somebody's money, their significant other, or their fucking sleep, automatically demand a fight.
You supposed to.
You know what I mean? Like you're asking for us, but
after you fight, I say what happened, and you tell me that, and I'm supposed to be like, oh,
yeah. I learned that just by not getting it, and then I had to be real political with myself and stop like hammering down on his head, because he don't know any better either. So then after that, I started to become politically attributed towards it, and it was like, hey man, look, I can help you with some remedy type fucking methods, and So you have to be empathetic in a struggle is not lost, it's just silent nowadays. I feel like artwork does also help us translate into humanity. I think music, art, voice, jazz, any event that you host, any song that you make, it has a symbol of togetherness. It alarms people. Like I learned that Africans back in the day got communications through horns that they used to have in different posts for miles. You know what I'm saying?
We all seen Africans with horns, but we never knew they could have been communicating with those
certain
horns.
Things like nightfall, animals are here, warnings of certain weather,
People
all types of wild shit. You know what I mean? Crazy
was the
shit.
Telephone before the telephone.
Crazy shit, right?
So I got 2 more subjects I want to touch before we get up out of here. One of them is Poncho, and you came to one of the concerts.
Yeah.
You came to when I opened up for Currency.
Yes.
And I know y'all big Currency fans as well, so I just want you to speak on that. How did you enjoy that?
Man, you know what? Hey,
because that was around the time we first met as well too.
That was after everybody thought they were gonna die. So big shout out to surviving COVID, everybody in the room, right? So
middle fingers up to the COVID.
Bro, I was like a avid Currency fan, and I remember at one time at Hard Rock, I gave Buddy a drawing, and then TY was there. I think Young Roddy was there. I think somebody else for the Pilot Talk 3. I didn't have enough time. I was bored. I was poor, very poor.
Hey, shout out to everybody that's poor that's trying to find a way out, man.
That type of shit. So yes, I was drawing and shit, and then I came up and I gave him some work, and then after that, it was Match Made in Heaven musically. So when I came to your event, I thought to myself, yeah, you know what I mean. This is the Currency that, you know what I mean, I want to see. This is the environment that I want to be in, and I want to be in LA. But I wasn't even prepared to come to LA at the time, and I was exchanging information with Pancho. We were still going back and forth with ideas about his imagery, but I think, Pancho is probably the most patient client I've ever had. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, nah, he one of my friends that I can,
my guy,
that I could we
ups
can
and downs,
talk
smiles and frowns, man.
Yeah, we could talk about different stuff where he really like a fucking guru Yoda type of sitting. I just was hugging a tree with my
he will put you in that, yeah,
with my different shoes on that can, like, you can walk through the ground and you be grounding with shoes on at the same time, friend. He told me about shrooms a long time ago, a lot before the ghetto got a hand on them. Yeah, Pancho's my partner, and a lot of people don't know is the gas man is the term that I created back in the day on one of my albums. And just being trapping back in the day, people say it's the weed man, and you like, that ain't no, I'm not the weed man. I don't even like that term. So somebody just started calling me the gas man, so we just ran with it. And then Drake had dropped the song Jump Man, and I had did it over, so it just kind of solidified, and everybody started running with it. But me and Pancho met, and he basically said, hey yo, I'm gonna run with the gas man term because I'm the gas man in my city too. And
that's wild.
And I was just like, you know what? I respect him, and he do hold it down. And you feel me? Even if I'm don't got nothing, I gotta pull up on him. It's always gonna be A1. So facts. He been running with it. So now we to the point where people know him for being the gas man, and they don't even know the backstory. They don't even need to. They just need to know it is what it is. But what the next thing I want to get into is surviving LA.
Okay.
You definitely are on the list of being here, because I've seen people come here and go back to where they came from. Like, you know what? I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Thank you, LA, for providing me with 24/7 enthusiasts of the arts. That's one thing. Number two, I didn't realize that LA was literally the whole West Coast until you start looking at shit like maps where people ask you to come to draw. They'll be like, hey, where do you live? And I'll be like, hey, I'm near this place. Or I work, in Hollywood or something. They'll be like, yeah, I'm just over here in Santa Barbara. Just come over, you know what I mean? It's, you can make it before work, and then we'll just have, and then, you'll be good. And maybe downtown for da-da-da-da-da, you'll be like, yeah, sure. It's only two places, but that's your day. Mm-hmm. If you think about it in LA time.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I didn't have in Vegas. I think, ultimately enough, there is definitely opportunity in Florida. There's opportunity in different spots, major cities for the arts, but there are key areas for different key things. California had the weather to supplement the type of work or the type of consistency that I was looking for in order to work with outdoor artists, and to work on the beach, mm-hmm. and to have seasonal art jobs and outdoor art parties and things of this nature was all on the table too. No matter what time of the year it was, I can easily run somebody's birthday, or I can be at somebody's wedding reception. They can have a fucking Gaza in a horse gallery or some shit like that at December 30th, January 29th at noon. And then for one instance, and that's what I tell people too, the magic about Southern California is for 5 minutes. Oh no, I'm sorry, for 5 minutes. For 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours every day. It's 75 degrees somewhere. The shit cracked that in the sky. Something occurred to where it's just nice. Yeah. And you'll be like, what the fuck? It was just, what happened?
I try to get people to know this, and this is not something that a lot of people know, is that you can go from the beach to Big Bear and be in the snow.
4 seasons.
And then go to the desert and be like in the real desert all 3 in one day.
That's wild.
And all still be in California.
That's very true, because I think Santa something is or San Bernardino, I think it's a desert town.
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
I believe so. It's a fucking.
It's a lot of Santas out here.
It's
so
Santa and San.
Yeah, nah. You
Dale somethings and all types of surnames in ass towns in California. Hell yeah.
So you got to know exactly. Somebody will tell you. Somebody will tell you to come to San Bernardino, and then you say, "Oh, I thought it was San Diego," and you will be in a lot of difference of space, time, grace,
and they'll
money.
talk to you as if you're not even near LA. They'll talk to you as if you're not even near Southern California.
So
if you know where the fuck you're going.
Real
like, really?
LA is real territorial, and a lot of people don't go to a lot of places.
I'd be like, "Where's Burbank?" They'd be like, "Where?"
A lot of people stay within their little pocket.
Yeah, they got a square of their life, and they stay there because what you want to do is be known and know shit out here. So the further you go, the less you'll be known and the less you'll know shit. So people stay in their pocket.
Yeah, man. I mean, like that, but that's the opposite of what we do, right?
This is another thing I tell niggas. Bro, California, I mean, LA is the only town where you could come in from out of town and you went to the beach, Roscoe's, into the mall, and it's people. Yeah, that motherfucker hard. I want that one.
It's pretty quick.
That's just that's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah,
this nigga cold.
Hey, I'm gonna throw some more down later on, but I know there's a mixtape coming. There's something happened. I forgot.
This shit is gonna be always in the works, man. And then another thing that we probably could do. We be having festivals. We be having
man,
concerts.
We definitely gotta have you like a booth set up where you could.
It's as simple as you doing your own booth at all our events.
I can draw you guys to get the fucking party rolling and a bigger.
I'm just saying, if you sit to the side, just like you sit to the side. On the streets or Venice Beach, Universal Studios, you sit right there with your setup. People be wanting to get art. They want.
See, look, caricature artwork is definitely a way for me to make bread, and I made a substantial amount of money.
Yeah, now, right now, bread.
Right now, the fuck bread. My
sometimes that be the best money though. The right now shit, it's like damn, I need this right now.
No, I'm not butting shit. Oh, you're going to you call me up. I'm there.
No. Just you almost like it's equivalent to the little booth where niggas sit in and take the 3 pictures.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but probably even faster than that.
Even better though, because
shout out to Sketch. That's kind of the company that hired me to work at Universal Studios at the theme park or whatever. But the theme park is really just, as I said, just like here, right? Fourth Exchange. My heart goes into canvases and goes into like just painting on different types of shit. Or
I've also seen you do some of the, what do they call it, the painting where you doing it like on the iPad.
Oh, some digital work. I do. I really, it's a lot faster for me to clean it up and to color it and shit inside of a digital scape, and that's what I'm hired to do. Jordan, I'm gonna have your drawing. That's one thing I just realized too. But I lost my tablet on the fucking beach like months ago. It's a $1,500 fucking Samsung tablet. Have you seen it in Santa Monica? Punch whoever in the face who has that tablet. All right. That was a week ago, but I have to get another one. But that. But I have a pocket. I use my phone.
One thing that I enjoy that I see on your page is when you like you go from the completed thing, and it's like it's almost like maybe a button you could press where it restarts the whole thing and shows how you drew the whole shit all the way from completion to the end. Yeah, that'd be dope to me. So that's another good content thing.
Listen, guys. Let's fucking content some content and let's content some content.
Yes, sir. We're gonna stay content. We're gonna stay content making content.
I feel like in certain regards, bro, it's long overdue. I think even at the concert we should have connected, but I was busy and I was brand new, and I had like It was a few things going on. At
Remember,
that
I
time.
was just telling you, it ain't just when you. Sometimes when you first meet, it's when everything work on God's time. Because now look how it all come together, man.
Look where we are.
So before we go though, I want you to go and tell the people, give them your Instagram, your website,
Definitely.
your number, or however they gotta get with you if they need to get with you, brother.
Definitely. My Instagram is HYPERART. At hyper as in, video game hyper gauge. Art, all one word. Also, if you want to see what I'm doing on the streets, or when you want to see what I'm doing as a caricature artist, at Hyper Caricatures is the other Instagram. I got a couple other projects running too. Rapping Friends is something that I was going to talk to you a little bit later about, but it's technically the art of rappers and everything else in entertainment. So like rappers and actors, singers who become rappers, or actors who become rappers, or rappers who become rappers, or rappers who become more rappers, or whatever. Right. Rappers who make rappers. So that's a project. Shoebox Babes. Those are just a couple of them that I'm just kind of trying to spearhead right now. So
that sound dope, man.
Yeah,
I ain't never heard Shoebox Babes, but I think I like me a Shoebox Babe.
Awesome! It's the celebration of women collectors. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking.
And it's gonna be some artwork and stuff.
Hey, man, you know me, man. We just gonna stay, cause we gonna stay working, never not working at that, man. Especially on Labor Day, man. You know what I'm talking about? We could have said, hey, man, you know what, Cam? We're gonna take the day off cause it's Labor Day, and this the day where you supposed to rest and all that. But nah, this the day where we gonna go ahead and turn it up some more, man. We waking up short days and early mornings, man. You know what I'm talking about? So let me pass it over.
I'll never pass a fucking mimosa ever.
Oh man, me neither.
In the morning, goddamn.
Let me pass it to the coolest motherfucker I know, man. Cool ass Cam, man. Walk him on out of here so smooth like you do, man. Grab her by the hand. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Well, y'all can tap in with me at COOLAZZCAM. Tap in with our website, www.theinnovativeculture.com. Follow us on Instagram at innovative.culture and the WB Morning Show, and subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/innovativeculture.
Hey man, I just figured out it was something that is free to do, and it's free to pay attention, and it's free to press share and like, and subscribe. That part.
Definitely.
We out of here, man. Much love.
All the time. Holla. Man.
Innovative.